Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of Ways and Means Committee. This is January 19th, 2021. I'll call the meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. Can we have a roll call vote, please? John, would you like to do that for us?
Sure, definitely. Counselor Wheeler? Counselor Forgy?
Here.
I'm Counselor Bottomley. I'm present. Counselor DeSorger?
Here.
And Counselor Elmer?
Here.
Okay, before we begin, I'd have to read the following statement. This meeting is being recorded by the Ways and Means Committee. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. Is there anybody recording? Okay, I don't hear anybody, so I'm going to ask if somebody would approve the minutes of the meeting we had on December 15th, 2020.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion was made by Councilor DeSorga. I need a second.
Second, Bottomley?
Second by Councilor Bottomley. All those in favor? Would you
Aye.
please
Aye.
indicate by raising your hand and saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay,
Excuse me,
the minutes have been approved.
I've been trying to find them. I did abstain.
You did abstain. Okay, so we
I
have,
couldn't find them.
okay, 3 and 1 abstention. In favor, 1 abstention. Okay. We have no public hearing. We do have a motion this evening. Councilor Bottomley, would you like to read that motion for us, please?
Yes, that's the one on page 4.
It is, thank you.
I move that it be ordered that the sum of $163,000 to be appropriated from free cash for the purpose of purchasing radios for the fire and police departments.
Is there a second?
Second, DeSorger.
Thank you. In your packet, there was a memo that came in from the fire chief to the mayor explaining everything that was going to be included in this purchase. There's a lot of paperwork there and good rationale, but I would like to ask Chief Strand at this time if he would like to speak and highlight some of the bigger important pieces to voting for this this motion.
Sure. Thank you, Councillor. Quick background on our radio system. Our radio system, we are the police and fire are part of a countywide radio system that is operated through the FRCOG. We all pay our annual dues into that radio system. That radio system is pretty old. It's been around for at least 15 plus years. The current radios that we are using in the fire department were purchased when we went to that radio system probably about 15 years ago. I think Ed Jarvis was a captain at that time and secured a grant for it. I believe Christine, you were mayor at the time when we purchased the radios that we're using. So they've been served us well for many years. That system, because of its age, is really getting to the point where we're having multiple critical failures throughout the county on that. Specifically, our tower sites have had 2 in the last 6 months, one on Adams Hill and one on Rocky Mountain. And so the current system is being held together with duct tape and baling twine. And Kurt Seaman is our in-house radio person, and he's joined us on the call, as well as Chief Haig is also on the call as well. And they can go into more Kurt can go into more details, but basically our radio system is failing. And so as a county, we looked at many options for the last 4 or 5 years and really had the opportunity to get on the state-owned 800 megahertz system. And there was money appropriated at the state level for us to be able to get into this radio system. And so there we'll be building all the infrastructure, and our responsibility is the hardware. But to get everybody in the county started, the state has also contributed money for the purchase of some of the radios. And so the request for 162,000 is out of 484,000 that is the total cost. Our contributing part will be 162,000, and that money will purchase all brand new portable radios for every police and firefighter. All brand new mobile radios for every cruiser and fire truck or fire apparatus and ambulance. It will also include radios for the EOC, radios for the fire station itself, those are base radios, and then some accessories that go along with it. A couple minor things that you'll see if you look at the budget that requested, you'll see that the firefighter microphones are a little bit more expensive than the standard microphones. Because the fire microphones are designed for firefighters. They're easier to use. They are heat resistant, water resistant, but the big thing is heat resistant. And so that's a critical point of failure in fire. So we have special microphones that we use during a fire. Our share again is $163,000. And I can answer any questions, or if there are any technical questions, I can turn it over to Kurt, and he can answer any questions as well.
Thank you, Chief. Does anybody have any questions? And I'm very happy to have Chief Haig and firefighter Kurt Seaman join us this evening. So please take advantage of them being here to ask any questions you may have about this new system.
If I could.
Yeah, I have a question. Homer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Chief, how long do you see this system working? When, what's the lifetime of it? When will it have to be replaced?
So there's actually two answers to that question. So our current system lasted about 15 years with any major upgrades to the system. You have to remember that when you're talking about a sophisticated radio system like this, you're actually talking computers. It's all computer driven. And so think about that in regards to computer replacement. So about 15 years is what we got out of our current system before it became obsolete. It really has served us well with this new system because we are going over to the state system. The state will continually be making improvements as the years go along because it's not only Franklin County, but it's multiple parts of the Commonwealth that are on the system as well. But our part of it, the hardware part of it, we usually get about 10 years out of it. We've gotten close to 15, 16 years out of the first purchase. And that is buying the radios that we buy. We buy the higher end radios because they last us longer. We bought a round of less expensive radios, and they went out of service long before the radios that we had purchased initially. And a lot of those radios are still in service 15 plus years later.
Thanks.
If I could, so if you our portable radios, just to give you an idea of the cost, the 6,000, which is the entry level radios per radio, is about $2,800. If we were to purchase this on our own, we would be looking at just the fire side of it, 124,000 just for the portables, nothing else, just the portable radios. Our contributing amount is $17,192. That's just portables on the fire department side. That's just to give you an idea of how much we're actually saving by doing it now. So I'll answer any more questions if there's any out there.
Question, Disorder?
Oh, go ahead, please. Thank you.
The statewide system, have the other neighboring communities signed up for this also, Chief?
So the broader question, Counselor, would be is there other areas in the state that have signed up? As far as Franklin County goes, all 26 communities are signing on to the system. All 26 fire departments and police departments are signing on. Other agencies that are on the system is Barnstable County, the departments down in Barnstable County, state police is on the system. There's multiple state agencies on the system, so it's a pretty robust system. But as far as our neighbors go, yes, the simple answer is that all Franklin County will be getting on the system, police and fire and ambulance.
Follow up if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
So reading through the information that you gave us was that this was the proposal. This was sort of an all or nothing. There's no choices that we could make as to how many radios we'd be getting.
So the answer is that this is how many that were allotted to the departments based on the amount of personnel that are there and in the fire department, it's based off of seated positions as well. NFPA requires a radio per each seated position within the fire department. But the numbers that we put forward are the numbers that we requested to fill the need for both police and fire.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions that anybody has?
One last comment, if I could. If we were to go on our own for a system, not only would we be spending over $500,000 on the exact same radios that we are purchasing now, but we would be looking anywhere between $750,000 to $1.5 million to build out the infrastructure. To give you an idea of how much money we're actually saving by going to this system.
Thank you, Chief. Any other remarks or comments? Okay, so we have to make a recommendation on this article, on this motion, to go out to council floor. Hang on just a minute. You have to bear with me because I need to go back and forth between screens. So what I need is a motion for a recommendation. I will make the motion that we have a positive recommendation. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'd like to take a vote on whether or not we should recommend this to the council as an appropriate expenditure and bring it out to council floor. So, all in favor of bringing this motion out to council floor with a positive recommendation, please indicate by saying yes and raising your hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is that unanimous? No abstentions? No
No.
negatives? Okay, so it's a unanimous recommendation to support this article on council floor for the new radio system. Okay, thank you, everyone. All right, next on the agenda. We have other business. Is there anything that anybody wants to bring forward at this point for discussion? Okay. All right. Thank you. We have other business tonight. We have first readings. So I will go ahead with the first readings to appropriate $65,900 from free cash for the Phase B1 Main Street Improvement Project. The other first reading is to appropriate $33,000 from free cash for the SCBA Fire Department SCBA Gear Grant Match. Is there any new business or anything else that anybody would like to discuss at this point?
One thing, Councilor Forgy,
Yes.
if the chief is still on, I know that was just a first reading. This is for Chief Strahan, if he's still here. I'm not
Chief,
sure.
are you here?
I am. I'm trying to get, there it is. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still here.
The SCBA, this is just a first reading on this, but while you're here among us, as I recall, and I did not go back to look at last year's budget, but last year we voted money for SCBA. Did you have anything you wanted to say about that while you're here with us?
Sure. What we voted the last time was for the air bottles. This is the actual air, the air packs where the bottles go into. This was a grant with 5 departments. Went and applied for a grant to replace the whole pack, all the packs within the fire department, which is about, I'm going to say, I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I wasn't prepared to speak on it, but about 250,000, somewhere somewhere in that mark to replace them all. We got a grant. I think our share is 10%. So that's where that number comes from. But it was unexpected that we would have gotten the grant. We applied for many grants. We ended up getting this grant. We're with 4 other communities. There's 5 of us that got it. This takes away 250,000 off of my capital going forward.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And when this comes forward in a second reading, we'll have an opportunity to discuss this, and we appreciate the knowledge now, Chief, but we look forward to talking with you again.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that anybody wants to say before I close the meeting? There is a few things that I'd like to say. Our next meeting is February 16th, 2021 at 5:30 via WebEx, unless things change drastically, but I think it's just going to be via WebEx. I'd like to put into the public record my thanks to 2 individuals that will be moving on to other council assignments. That would be Phil Elmer and Otis Wheeler. Otis was the chair of Ways and Means, and I'd like to thank him for all his efforts on behalf of the council and the town. And Phil and I were 2 of the, there were 4 of us that were all new to this, and I do very much appreciate his camaraderie and his knowledge. And I know that we'll meet again on other committees as we go through our time served together. So thank you all very much. Our new reconfigured committee will meet again in the February meeting. And I'd like to thank everybody for all their hard work and their cooperation. We're going to get started on a lot of interesting things, and I look forward to working with you and serving in the capacity as chair. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, and thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. I need a second.
Second, DeSorger.
Okay. All in favor? Indicate. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. The meeting is closed at 5:50. Excuse me. Woo.